All right, well, I've arrived in the island of Moorea in Tahiti. I think when people think of Tahiti, they probably think of this place. And I'll show you why. They think of this: blue water, overwater huts, mountains rising out of the ocean like God dropped them there for a movie poster. Tahitian dancers, drums, paradise. And me? I was thinking about golf. Because apparently, no matter where I go on this planet, some damaged little corner of my brain is scanning the horizon for a tee box. We had arrived in French Polynesia, and I had one goal: find out if there was great golf there. And in my defense, that was not unreasonable. I had my clubs with me. I was literally carrying the dream through the South Pacific. Most people bring sunscreen. I brought golf clubs, which tells you everything you need to know about my priorities and possibly my condition. Now, Moorea actually does have golf, a proper golf course. Moorea Green Pearl Golf Course. Beautiful place. Mountains, palm trees, ocean air. The sort of golf course where a man could ruin his scorecard and still feel spiritually refreshed. So, the golf existed. The problem was, I was on a cruise ship excursion, not a golf trip. And those are two very different animals. A golf trip is built around tee times. A cruise ship excursion is built around getting 47 people back to the bus before someone buys another carved turtle. If you came here for the postcard version of Tahiti and Moorea, this place absolutely delivers. The water is ridiculous. The huts are iconic. The mountains look like something Hollywood rejected because they were too dramatic. And when the dancers and drums started, you knew exactly what the island was selling. Beauty, culture, romance, a once-in-a-lifetime South Pacific experience. And I'm standing there wondering if I packed enough golf balls. That is the sickness. Some people see paradise. I see a potential dogleg left. But here is where the story gets interesting. Before the excursion, I'd contacted the ship's front desk, or excursion desk, to ask about golf. A harmless little question. Can you help me get to a golf course? I thought they might say, sure, Paul, we can make arrangements. Instead, the solution that came back was about $1,000. $1,000 to get to a golf course. Not to have Jack Nicklaus personally fly in and tell me my takeaway was too inside. Just to get there and play. That turns a normal golf outing into a financial emergency. And at that point, I had to ask myself a very serious spiritual question. How much do I really love golf? Apparently not $1,000 worth that day. So instead of playing golf in Tahiti or Moorea, I became a golf detective. I looked for a course from the bus. I looked for a fairway from the roadside. I looked toward the water. I looked through palm trees like a man searching for a lost civilization. At one point, I thought maybe the golf course was at the end of the rainbow, which in fairness would still have been more affordable than booking through the excursion desk. Now you may ask, Paul, why didn't you just get on the internet, check the rates, call the course yourself, and make arrangements? Excellent question. And the answer is simple. We didn't buy the internet package. Internet on the ship was something like $20 an hour. $20 an hour. This is not Wi-Fi. This is a hostage negotiation with a login screen. For the whole trip, internet for my wife and me was going to be about $600. And I couldn't just get it for myself because her job is actually important. My wife has responsibilities and deadlines. People depend on her. I basically play golf. She follows me around keeping all the plates spinning while I wander through life asking whether anyone knows where the first tee is. So we were trying to save money, which is hilarious because cheap and golf should never appear in the same sentence. They shouldn't even be allowed in the same zip code. Golf is a sport where a man will complain about $20 internet, then spend $500 on a new putter because this one feels different. There I was floating through French Polynesia with my golf clubs, trying to save money on Wi-Fi while turning down a $1,000 tee time. And that is when I realized something very important. Golf in paradise is possible, but golf without planning, this is how they get you. One thing I really appreciated about the tour was that you can see more than the brochure. Yes, there's paradise here, but there are also regular people living regular lives. Some of the homes were very humble. Our tour guide mentioned monthly incomes that sounded low by American standards, And when you see some of the roadside homes, you understand something important. This is not just a vacation backdrop. People live here, they work here, they raise their families here, they make a life here. It is beautiful, but it's also real. And sometimes tourists forget that. We arrive, take pictures of the water, buy a magnet, and leave thinking we understand the place. We don't. We saw a glimpse, a beautiful glimpse, but a glimpse. And speaking of our tour guide, this guy was impressive. He could drive a bus up a narrow mountain road better than I can drive a golf cart down a cart path. And I've had practice. At one point we stopped at a fruit stand. I'm not saying it belonged to a relative, but let's just say if the DNA test had broken out, I would not have been shy. Later, we stopped at a pearl shop that definitely had a family connection. And honestly, I respected it. This man had every angle covered. Transportation, tourism, fruit, pearls, local knowledge. If he had offered swing lessons, I probably would have listened. At that point, he was the only person in French Polynesia who seemed to have a working business plan. We also stopped at a historic site connected to James Norman Hall, who co-wrote Mutiny on the Bounty with James Nordhoff. There was a typewriter, books. That wonderful feeling that this island has been inspiring writers, travelers, dreamers, and slightly confused men in golf shirts for a very long time. For a few minutes, I even stopped thinking about golf, and that does not happen often. Usually my mind returns to golf the way a shopping cart returns to one bad wheel. But for a moment, I was fully present. The writer's house, the island, the history, the story. But eventually, the golf brain came back, because the golf was there. I just was not. And that is the part that hurts. Moorea has a course. I had clubs. What I did not have was a plan. That is a dangerous combination. It's like bringing a fishing rod to the ocean and forgetting that boats are involved. That was lesson number 1. If you want to play golf on a cruise, book it before you get on the ship. Playing it by ear sounds romantic. Playing it by ear can also cost $1,000. There's a fine line between spontaneity and financial trauma. I found it somewhere near the excursion desk. And this is where the golf course pictures become painful, because this was not some imaginary course. It was real. It was beautiful. It was sitting there while I was on a tour bus, holding a camera, wearing a golf shirt, and wondering where my life went wrong. That may be slightly dramatic. But only slightly, because for a golfer, seeing a course you cannot play is a special kind of suffering. It's not real suffering, let's be clear, but it is golf suffering, which means it's deeply trivial and somehow still emotionally devastating. So no, I did not play golf in Moorea. I found the water, I found the huts, I found the dancers, I found the mountains, I found the humble homes, I found a fruit stand, I found a pearl shop, I found the house of a famous writer. I even found out there really was a golf course on the island. What I did not find was an affordable tee time. And that may be the most important travel tip of the entire episode. Book the golf before you get on the ship. Because once you're on board, paradise may still be beautiful, but golf can be very expensive. So today was not the golf day I imagined, but it was still a great story. And sometimes on a golf channel, that is what you get. No birdies, no pars, no scorecard. Just one guy in a golf shirt, standing in paradise, still looking for the first tee.